Well, last Friday night, about 8,500 fans were in the Kohl Center to watch the Badgers play in this building for the first time in almost 600 days, and then 10,000 on hand Saturday. Unfortunately, Wisconsin lost both games to Michigan Tech 5-2 and 5-1. Badgers back home to play Army Thursday and Friday, and head coach Tony Granato joins us next on the Badger Hockey Digest. Well, Tony, obviously things didn't go as planned last weekend, the season opening series against Michigan Tech. Give the Huskies credit. They're a good, experienced, hardworking club, and they proved it on the ice last weekend. But your team can learn from it and grow from it and move on because there's plenty of hockey left to be played.
Yeah, there is, and we're going to have to do that fast. And, you know, you can't just forget it and move on to the next weekend without learning from what happened. And, you know, some of the points you brought up about them being a team that was older and experienced, they were smarter than us. They were more physical than us. They were more tenacious than us. And we kind of got flat-footed, and they took advantage of it. They saw a wounded team early in the season. And when I say we were wounded, we just never got to our game. We weren't real sharp. We didn't respond well to the physicality and the intensity of the series. And after the weekend before, when we played Duluth in that exhibition game, it was the opposite for us. So I think we came in confident. We came in maybe a little too confident and didn't expect Tech to do what they did to us, and really caught us in a position where we didn't respond at all to get back into either of the games. I think both games they control pretty much the whole game. So we'll move on. It's about focusing on, like you said, there's lots of hockey to play, but to be ready for the next game, there's some quick adjustments that need to be made, and one would be just the compete level on the puck, the willingness to put yourself in a position to be ready to battle, and that's what we'll be looking to do this weekend when we do play Army.
Yeah. As we record this on Tuesday, Monday's practice was all about competition. You did some skills work early on, but then it was a lot of one-on-one work in front of the net, blue line in, red line in the corners. You really worked on that on Monday.
Well, yeah, you know, again, you know, as a coach, when you see something in the game that you're not happy with, you know, you try to address it and make a message of it to say, okay, you know, guys, we didn't compete hard enough in the game, so there's some areas that we need to focus on, making sure that we understand to win games, the little things that happen in the game, the little puck battles along the boards, and in the areas that you just talked about that we worked on, and the races for the pucks are going to be lots of times the differences in the game. And so we put a focus on that for the start of practice this week, and as the week goes on, we'll build back into some team concepts and then get ready for what Army's going to show us this weekend. But most importantly for us, you know, we are a young team. I can't, you know, just all of a sudden, you know, say, okay, we're experienced. You know, as a group, we played one exhibition game and then those two non-conference games, and we got 10 new players in our locker room. And, you know, when you lose players like you do every year, you got to find ways to replace them. You got to find ways to have guys understand, you know, how the new dynamics of the team is going to work and what their role is going to be, and figure out, you know, how they're going to help our team. And you know, this is another series for us to get on track. Army's going to be similar to Michigan Tech from the standpoint they're going to come and work. And I think that's good for us to play a similar type of team. Now that we've got a taste of it, we'll see how we respond this weekend.
Yeah, there were some bright spots with the Badgers against Michigan Tech last weekend. We'll run through those with Tony Granato coming up here in just a moment.
It's Big Ten football. Camp Randall Stadium.
If you think back to 1990,
There's a fumble, and it's recovered.
Wisconsin was not the Wisconsin it is today.
Ansley has offered the position of Barry Alvarez.
When you take over a losing program, you have to change the culture.
Talking about momentum shifting.
You can't do it with mirrors. You can't do it with tricks.
This is a family. That's how you win.
It's been a great ride. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have.
Well, I'm a glass half full type of guy, so there were some bright spots in last weekend's series against Michigan Tech. The student section, Friday night in particular, that was a raucous crowd, and the Crease Creatures, the guys that put that all together, it was good to see the fans back in the stands and providing some energy, even when things weren't going well.
They were outstanding, and yeah, it was, you know, we missed them. You know, last year we talked about this, the last show, and really throughout the summer about how last year was so special for how well our team played, but to not have the fans in there and be able to be part of it, you know, took something away from it. But But obviously, they came back and had a ton of energy. Their cheers were great. They stayed with us all the way through, the weekend, and kept giving their effort into trying to give us energy. And yeah, that's a big part of college athletics. It's certainly a huge part of our program, having the Crease Creatures in our student section, jam-packed like they were, and hopefully we'll keep getting them in here and play some better hockey in front of them.
Yeah, on the ice, your top line generated a lot of shots on goal. Brock Caulfield had 14. We saw Matty D. St. Phal with an excellent steal and score. I know you're counting on him to score some goals this season. And then freshman Caden Brown, his first goal as a Badger, a minute 13 into his first game as a Badger. What a thrill for him.
It was, and he had a great start. He jumped on the ice and made a couple good plays down low and kind of got a bounce that he was able to capitalize on to give us the early lead. Caden's one of those guys. He comes from the U.S. program. He's very talented. Comes from some, great family background because of his dad playing a long time in the NHL. So he's a big player. He's a big-time player for us, and he's got his feet wet in his first game, and hopefully he can keep developing and grow into the player that we think he can be, because he's got lots of talent.
And I know you feel the same way about defenseman Daniel Lach too, the young man from Altoona.
I'm going to go with Latch and not Lach.
Well, actually, I asked Daniel. I asked Daniel, how do you pronounce your name? And he said Latch.
Double A.
But you can say it whatever way you want. I said, how does your dad pronounce his name? He said Lach.
Okay.
And I said Daniel Lach.
There we go.
There it is.
Some new information today. Daniel was a kid. He comes from the program as well. Played a year in the USHL after his 2 years at the development team. Big, lanky kid, but skates really well. Was very confident out there, and he had a great start to his collegiate career. So, Danny's a great kid. He's waited a long time to get here and be a Badger, and has had a good start to his career.
All right, new week, new opponent. Best of luck against the Army West Point Black Knights.
Thank you, Brian.
Sure. That's Badgers head coach Tony Granato. Wisconsin and Army Thursday and Friday night. Both games start at 7 o'clock. Both games on Bally Sports Wisconsin, also on the radio on the Badgers Sports Network, or check it out on the TuneIn app. Along with Tony Granato, I'm Brian Posick. Thanks for watching the Badger Hockey Digest.
This has been a presentation from Learfield,